Far-left Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez accused of hypocrisy after she was spotted ringing in the new year in Miami, maskless, as Omicron cases surge in South Florida. One report says she was greeted with applause and was seen hugging patrons in this crowded bar. And she's also getting roasted for tweeting at critics who called her out for heading down to Miami with her sandal-wearing boyfriend. Quote, "If Republicans are mad they can't date me, they can just say that, instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet." Jason, your take on a sitting congresswoman equating criticisms with GOP sexual frustration and obsession.
All right, so I'm going to go to a Betty White quote. Betty White said, "You don't luck into integrity, you actually work at it." And integrity is not something that's high on her list. I think she's more about getting on television, and she's in a neck-to-neck race, a horse race with Dr. Fauci as to who can be on television more often. She's not actually doing her job. And why doesn't she talk about freedom and liberty? And this is the way you should live. And making choices. Instead, she's got this perversion that she's got to thrust out to everybody to be able to, try to attract even more attention. I don't think it's effective. I think it's shallow. It's inconsistent with the way she preaches. She dictates like a Democrat, but she often wants to live like a Republican.
Ah, great line, Jason. She also went on to tweet, "It's starting to get old, ignoring the very obvious, strange, and deranged sexual frustrations that underpin the Republican fixation on me, women, and LGBT+ people in general. These people clearly need therapy, won't do it, and use politics as their outlet instead. It's really weird," she writes. All right, Kayleigh, you had an awesome Instagram Live this weekend from Florida directed at AOC. Your thoughts?
I did, yeah. I hail from the great state of Florida. I love it. I make no secrets about my home state and my state of residence being a great place to vacation. I think everyone should come to the great state of Florida. It's a great place for an important reason. We love freedom here. We have a governor that loves freedom. It was a remarkable contrast during COVID-19 when I would travel to New York and then come to Florida and see the contrast of people outside living their life, walking out in the sun, going to the beach, versus New York City, where AOC hails from, where kids who are 5 years old have to sit outside and eat in the cold if they are not vaccinated. A city that is basically uninhabitable in some ways because of the crime epidemic going on there. So come vacation in Florida, AOC, but realize why you love this state so much. And one other thing that I'll say is, you're a sitting United States Congresswoman in the United States House of Representatives. You represent nearly 700,000 people. You are the titular head of the left, an important and powerful wing of the Democrat Party. And you are engaging in juvenile behavior, saying Republicans are mad they cannot date me, AOC. Come on now, tweet something befitting of your position as a United States Congresswoman, not this juvenile behavior that I think a middle schooler would engage in, not, again, a sitting Congresswoman.
Amen. And Tommy, Jason brought up freedoms. How does this kind of behavior on her part play into freedoms and her approach to them up until now?
Well, these liberals, all of them, really love to go to Florida, and for good reason. They have a fantastic governor, as Kayleigh said, so it's understandable. But what frustrates me is every time we catch a Democrat being a hypocrite, they try to project themselves on us and gaslight us, saying that we're just going after them for X, Y, and Z reason. No, we're going after you because you're a hypocrite. We don't care if you party. We don't care if you have fun. We just wish that you wouldn't preach to the rest of us that it's selfish if we do so. But furthermore, I want to talk about AOC and this whole theory that she has that everyone wants to date her. This is the problem I have with modern day feminism. These feminists sit there and they say that we're all equal, that they want to be treated equally, they don't want to be treated differently because they're women, and then they go and tweet things like this, like AOC said, "Oh, if you criticize me, it must be because you want to date me and you have sexual perversions about me." That's disgusting, and that just shows you how ridiculous modern day feminism is. But let's be honest about AOC. She might be a congresswoman, but she wants to be a Kardashian. She's addicted to fame, she's addicted to social media, she's addicted to herself. She wants to be a reality TV star, and quite frankly, that might be a better path for her and for our country. But for right now, she's representing a lot of people, and she should act like it.
Look, there was a Kardashian that pushed forth crime reform. Don't compare her to Kim. And look, maybe the sex tape that got everything started, but I don't know why AOC keeps talking about sex. I don't really understand it. It's not just, it's not befitting of a congresswoman or a congressperson, but she's not even concerned with the people in her district. Why not tweet, look, I know you saw me maskless. I want to let you know what the rules are where I am. And by the way, I'm thinking of my people back home, and let's get the conversation open among black and brown people about vaccinations and why many of you have chosen not to do so. I mean, she could have turned this into an opportunity. In fact, she missed a huge one because she didn't look outward. She looked in the mirror. She looked inward. She decided to make it all about her. And this isn't really about her. As you said, we don't really care if she parties, do we? Do we, Tommy? I don't. I love fun. Let her go. Let her do whatever she wants. She needs to do locally what they're telling her to do. Apparently she was. She loves Florida. But we thought she loved New York. So show them some love.
Right.
That's her job.